Is Northvolt on the brink of bankruptcy? With rumors of layoffs and financial difficulties, the situation sounds dramatic. Let us explore what's really happening with Northvolt, why these rumors are spreading, and what the future might hold for the key European battery company. Is Northvolt really on the brink of bankruptcy? With layoffs in sight, the company is in a tough spot. While rumors spread, it is clear that Northvolt is dealing with serious challenges. Let's dive into what's really happening and what it means for the future of this major battery player. First, let's start with understanding what Northvolt is and why it matters so much. Think of Northvolt as Europe's answer to Tesla, but instead of making electric cars, they're focusing on the battery that powers them. Founded in 2016 by Peter Carlson, a former Tesla executive, Northvolt is trying to become the go-to company of lithium battery in Europe. These batteries are critical for EVs and are also for storing renewable energy, like solar or wind power. This makes Northvolt a key player for the global fight against climate change. In a world rapidly moving towards electric vehicles, the company has positioned itself as a leading competitor to Tesla's massive factory, aiming to dominate the European battery supply chain. Why is Northvolt's role so critical? The demand for electric vehicles and renewable energy is growing rapidly, and so is the need for high-quality battery to power them. Northvolt is aiming to capture a large part of the European market for lithium-ion batteries, the kind used in most electric cars. Europe has been heavily dependent on imports, particularly from China, to meet its battery needs, and Northvolt's goal is to reduce that dependence by producing batteries locally. This is important because the European Union wants to boost its own production of batteries, aiming to capture a bigger share of the global market by 2030. Northvolt is right at the heart of this effort. But if Northvolt is so crucial, why are we hearing rumors about financial troubles and layoffs? The truth is, while Northvolt is facing some financial challenges, the situation isn't not nearly as bad as the stories say. Like many companies in the tech and green energy sectors, Northvolt is dealing with rising costs of materials like lithium and cobalt, which are essential for battery production. These materials have become harder to get and more expensive, causing delays and higher operational costs. On top of that, the global economy is facing issues like inflation and disturbance in the supply chain, which are making things even more difficult for companies like Northvolt. At the same time, delays in production and missed targets have raised concerns among some investors. In any fast-growing company, especially one in an area as innovative as battery manufacturing, there are going to be difficulties along the road. But when those difficulties include higher costs and production delays, it can create financial strain. Northvolt has faced some expansion at its massive factory, Northvolt in Scandalous, Sweden, and these delays have contributed to the rumors of financial problems. So, are the layoffs we're hearing about a sign that Northvolt is in trouble? Not necessarily. Layoffs don't always mean a company is about to go under. In fact, some companies cut jobs to manage costs and stay competitive. Northvolt CEO Peter Carlson has even mentioned before that temporary adjustments like layoffs might be needed to keep the company on track for long-term success. This is especially important in an industry like battery manufacturing, where scaling up production can be incredibly expensive and challenging. Reports suggest that Northvolt is considering cutting jobs in several areas, including production and research development, R&D. It's possible that some of these layoffs are part of a larger effort to enhance operations and focus on the company's core strength, namely making large-scale batteries. For example, Northvolt recently decided to put its cathode material production facility at Northvolt into what's called care and maintenance, meaning they're pushing work there for now. This move allows Northvolt to focus more on battery production lines while cutting back on other parts of the business that aren't as immediately necessary. When did Northvolt's financial struggle really start? Like many companies, the COVID-19 pandemic was a major turning point. Global supply chains were disrupted, materials became more expensive, and projects were delayed. This wasn't just a problem for Northvolt, it affected the entire industry. Even though Northvolt has raised money for investors like Volkswagen, it's still been tough to keep up with the growing costs of scaling such a big operation. Think of it like trying to build a massive puzzle, but some of the key pieces keep moving around. That's the kind of challenges Northvolt is facing. Tech and green energy companies often hit financial difficulties where they're growing. Just look at Tesla or Amazon. They face tough times and downs before becoming huge. Northvolt might be in a similar spot. The battery industries for EVs is still growing, and as the leader in Europe, Northvolt is dealing with the usual growing pains of trying to change the game. Despite these challenges, it's important to remember that Northvolt is far from alone in facing financial strain. Many other green tech companies are in the same boat. Electric vehicle makers like Rivian and Nikola Motors are also dealing with rising costs and supply chain issues. Even some of the biggest car manufacturers like Ford and General Motors are feeling the effects as they try to switch over to electric vehicles. The battery industry, in particular, is seeing considerable difficulties for developing as it attempts to meet the rapidly decreasing demand of renewable energy storage in electric vehicles. This situation raises questions about whether Northvolt is mismanaged or has made significant mistakes. Building a battery manufacturing empire is incredibly complicated, and some setbacks are unavoidable. Northvolt had to make tough calls, like deciding to sell off its site in Borlänge, Sweden, which was originally planned for producing key battery materials. It's part of their strategy to focus on what they can do best, making the batteries themselves, not the materials that goes into them. In addition to selling off some assets, Northvolt is also merging its operations. For example, they're integrating their US subsidiary Kuberg into their Swedish research and development efforts. Kuberg specializes in lithium metal technology, which could give Northvolt an edge to developing next-generation batteries. This merging is part of the broader effort to make the company more efficient and focus on innovation. One of the bigger trends working in Northvolt's favor is the growing push towards localizing supply chains. As countries and regions seek to reduce their dependence on imports, particularly from China, there's a strong interest in building local supply chain for industries like battery manufacturing.
Our sustainability approach has been very, very important because it has made everybody realize that if we're not doing this build-up in the right way, we can create a pretty significant carbon footprint in this industry development. But if we're a little bit careful and a little bit smart on how we build this industry, we can help solve two problems. We can build a new industry that has a very low carbon footprint, and we can reduce oil out of transportation. And I think this has been very important for us.
Northvolt is well positioned to benefit from this trend, especially in Europe, where there's a major push to capture a larger share of the global battery market. The European Union, for example, has set a goal of capturing 25% of the global battery market by 2030 from its current 3%. One of the biggest challenges Northvolt faces is keeping its manufacturing plants running smoothly. Their main factory, Northvolt in Skellefteå, Sweden, is a key part of their strategy. Any delays or issue at this plant could have ripple effects across the company. At the same time, Northvolt is exploring partnerships to strengthen its position. They also have another major facility in Poland, where they're looking for partners to help boost production. Northvolt knows how to stay competitive. They need to keep their plants operating efficiently and find ways to bring costs down. If Northvolt is having these challenges, are other companies in the green energy space struggling too? Absolutely. Many companies in this sector like Rivian and Nikola Motors are dealing with similar problems. The entire industry is facing rising costs and supply chain issues. Even legacy automakers transitioning to all-electric vehicles are feeling the pinch. So, Northvolt's situation isn't unique, and it's part of a much larger challenge in the global push towards electric vehicles. Despite all of this, Northvolt is still hopeful about the future. They're betting that the demand for batteries will still grow as the world moves away from fossil fuels and towards renewable energy. To get through these tough times, Northvolt is focusing on its strength and making strategic moves, like exploring partnerships to support its operations in Europe. The company is also keeping an eye on the new technologies, like solid-state batteries, which could change the game in a few years. So, is Northvolt going bankrupt? Not right now. They're dealing with some big challenges, but are making changes to stay competitive. Layoffs and cost-cutting are part of their plan to secure long-term success. Northvolt is making tough choices to remain a major player in sustainable energy and battery production. Northvolt's financial situation is under close watch, with concerns about debt and cash flow. But the company hasn't declared bankruptcy. Those are just rumors. Northvolt hasn't filed for bankruptcy and is instead reviewing a strategy. It won't be easy, but their leadership is confident they'll get through this and come out stronger. Northvolt's future isn't just about bankruptcy rumors. How they handle changes will decide their path. It's about how we talk about representation, tradition, and storytelling in a world that's changing quickly. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our latest updates. Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We will see you guys next time.